one day because essentially somehow Google's automated blogger engines decided that.
And let's be honest, if I could have that shit fitted into my glasses, like prescription Google glasses, that would be so fucking.
So in other words, Google Keep is a device that makes sense for me to try out because it can work on all, and I need to quickly Google a thing because I don't want to say the wrong thing just because it sounds. Somebody on, Facebook or Google or whatever, personally looking through all of your personal statuses.
A name that people are going to Google, that is going to be linked to in Google results. That's why branding works. That's why remakes work.
There will not be the fancy doodum or whatsits unless I can get them through Google Drive, can't I? Yes.
I think there is hope. Now YouTube is vast and strange and complicated, and Google is massive, and I'm an idiot. Oh, Google, we need to have words. Google, we really need to have words.
If anything, I should be like sort of saying, hey Google, thanks for letting me rant to the general populace. Thanks for letting me borrow your soap. So
after what happened today, I'm thinking that just Google, you need to stop letting your AI be in charge of everything. I mean, this is speech recognition, right? With sort of, Siri and Alexa and Google Now and stuff, right? Not Alexa, it's the Amazon Echo. I can help fan the flames even a little. Then please, Google, someone, get this shit sorted, okay? So.
And for the pilot episode, I just made do with doing Google searches and stuff like that. And
I got business calendar because business calendar for the kind of Google app stuff. Online on the sort of grand, world where, I don't know, everybody sold their souls to Google or to Facebook or whatever. Then, you could have your
with which to beat Google with. I'm fine with Google being there because Google's doing good things at the moment. But I want writing. So I would love for someone to create a Google app that just kind of breaks the code so you can just hold it up.
And the other way you're doing it is by, if you break up Apple, if you break up Google, if you break up Amazon, if you break up Microsoft, then you fucking win arguments. You tell someone to go away and fucking Google it themselves.
Which doesn't actually happen so often if you're dealing with Google. So I suppose we should talk about that. Everything have to come back to a megacorp, Like Google, yes, I appreciate Let's Playing is a thing that makes
seamlessly sync between the computers and devices, integration with Gmail, Google Calendar, and Evernote, although I've not tried using Evernote, and from what I
have of the opinion that actually, if the workers are paying 20% tax, then fucking Google should be paying a damn sight more than them.
The advertising world, and I am just wondering, like I managed to convince Google to stop sending me itchy veg cream adverts
for national security. Where's the national security if Google were to start, personally vetoing YouTube?
To use Google Chrome, use iTunes, use Audible Manager, and to use...
I mean, heck, I have been dreading the day some fucker manages to hack into Google or YouTube, and then it's like, oh,
it's got marked wrong by automated software. Good day. Google has a problem with automated software just taking stuff
between sort of Chrome and Google Google Play apps and also sort of the Windows 10 App Store. And so there are things like, you know, you can search for images of a person's face using Google, and it will search the image for all the other images.
Yes, you who is, you know, looking to employ me, you're gonna put my name to Google search and say, well, look at this guy. I mean, I've done videos before about how Google are dangerous because they're so powerful. Now I'm thinking that the opposite,
Who can still get a job at Google, right? But Google is doing, like, it has automated away so many other jobs that it's like we're interested in. You know, like maybe your Google now gets to know you really well, and it's like,
There is a limit from it on Google. Yeah. And what the reason I bought this is because there's a quote on the back here to buy. If people want to Google, if people want to search, they go on Google. If people want to go on Maps, they go. But only slightly, because you guys aren't paying me. Google is paying me with ad revenues. And it's a tiny, tiny trickle.
The early days of the thing, because fundamentally I trust Google, right? Like, Google might be a bit scary in terms of how all-powerful they are, but
right? You know, I'm someone who actually, as much as I recognise that Google has got a fuck ton of problems, as much as I recognise that Apple...
I managed to get the calendar synced up with Google Calendar, which is good. I'm
now ranking up I'm now making money through my YouTube and through my Google, and it's like right,
because at the very least, if you know how to Google something, you might be able to save yourself if you fuck things up with professional money.
With a tiny, tiny trickle. It's a tiny, tiny trickle that Google takes a lot out of. And then if you actually want to see it, then you can, because but you know, YouTube has live streaming now, so it is possible to do it successfully.
I have Kalman syndrome, which basically Google it. It's KALLMAN' syndrome.
The itchy vag soothing cream. Yes. Yes, for a while there, even Google was thinking that I had to post the survey here. People can fucking Google it for all I care. I just want to point out how fucking stupid you are.
When it's like, I could quite easily just do this using a Google Docs document. like literally the only reason I didn't, and that's a problem. So immediately I went to Google Keep, and I did, because with Google Keep you can do labels. It's until I improve the calendar, Google Keep's kind of limited in that capacity. But certainly, it's very interesting.
Searching pedophilia on Google is something that naturally fills me with an office suite. They'll go to OpenOffice, they'll go to Google Docs. Like, it seems that at this point, Windows-based
name of fuck it. I have Google. Yes, I have Google. Google, show me the knowledge.
be downloaded if you search PCGen in Google. Oh, Bing if you use Bing. It's pcgen.sourceforge. Just
used on things like Siri and Alexa and Google Now to do like voice recognition of, well, first, so that, you know, the person
encouraging users to find you. Is letting users find you. Is saying, Google, this specific Mark Zuckerberg is watching you. Google is watching you. And Google has
has very openly used kind of, you know, stuff from ISPs and you know, Facebook, Google, Twitter, you know, every free dating website under the sun. To be honest, some of the paid ones too.
A small difference to the internet. I know because I bloody googled it. It might not be good, and
on which the anti-establishment can stand, but Google, they aren't nice. Google are not nice. Google need to pay a heck of a lot more tax than
I can see that people care because I can see the views and I can see that Google is thinking, yeah, you're
And then sort of have some kind of, you know, coordination with, say, Google Maps or something like this, some kind of sat-nav system. Clearly, Google. I did not need to Google. I remembered. Scarlett Johansson. Yes, Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow is,
and they own and they get paid by Google, one of the richest companies in the world, and in fact, you know, they get paid by.
It's like when your mum just starts to use Google for the first time, you know, and she starts going, oh, what does this do? I wonder.
That's a heck of a lot more than I would earn from Google AdWords or Google monetization, but
oh, they've connected them up together so they can keep their files synced now that basically Google has gone down because there isn't enough money to keep it afloat through.
And it's like someone has finally dared to take the extra special step where it's like, Google is already sending me an email every time you say of the money that gets paid to Google. Okay? So please don't abuse the system, okay? I caught up a lot of nerd culture as a result of just going, yes, Google Doctor Who
are paying so much more tax than Google. And you know what? As a fan of regulated capitalism, I'm kind of the opinion because
Google needs to start losing. Because otherwise Google is going to get scary, and because Google cars are now deciding who lives and who dies on a objective about the ratios of bad viewer interaction to good viewer interaction. All Google cares about is that my channel
is second to do the subtitles. Except this is Google we are talking about. Google's whole business is algorithms and automated. Incredibly fucking annoyed with Google Maps. Okay, incredibly fucking annoyed because Google is gonna remember this. Google is gonna remember all this interactivity, all of the links
who will be killed very definitely, whilst if the Google cars had picked the other car. And so I couldn't help it. I looked deeper, I Googled it. I started looking up the stories that had Daleks in it.
I think they are pointless. I think debates are fucking pointless. I would rather go away and Google stuff and research stuff myself. But here's the thing, guys.
I've moved over to my laptop so that I can have my safe space wherever I go. But the truth is, Google, you are my safe space. You are. Idea that somehow Apple and Google are in the wrong in saying that, you know,
Buy them. I get cocking paid by Google. Disney, okay? Disney is a media enterprise.
To Google Keep, and I did, because with Google Keep you can do labels, and you can color the labels, and the labels can be.
You help when you tweet a link to something. You help when you Google Plus it. You help when you write a comment. You help when you search engine optimization points. The more tags you have, the more likely someone on Google can find you.
Islands, the Amazon rainforest, Everest Base Camp, Google headquarters, and Amsterdam. Warhammer.
You see, Google, I love you. You know, I use Gmail. I love Google Drive.
Trying to address the fact that the world is fucked because Google is a tyrannical media empire that's going to take over the world. Today we are going to discuss veto what you can say, but you know, Google's political correctness checker can say, hey now, do you really want to be talking about socialism?
But I am utterly that itch. Right? Like 4chan has no power over me. Google does, right? Like, if Google...
People want to search, they go on Google. If people want to go on maps, they go on Google. If people want videos, they go on Google. If people... the great internet machine started by the Google behemoth. So we are ruled by the megacorp. The megacorp is good. Currently heading into cyberpunk megacorp area. It was okay when Google was the guy who you went to for search. It was okay.
Video, or I have to give in to the grand robot overlord. And, you know, like, Google is the one entity that
the fuckers are going to try to get into my Google account. They're going to spend all the time they can fucking with...
I want to go and get that. I want to go and read that. You go on Amazon, you Google Civil War, you buy the book,
It's interesting. I mean, I used it before, but like Google has Gmail has this feature of like breaking it out into
out of what advertising money Google pays me after they take their cut of the advertising money.
These are difficulties, you know. I have to constantly have the Google Calendar open because, you know, that's currently my only way.
so I can do something with this. I mean, Google's very good. So there should be something I can do with it. Nuke is, I'll just bloody bring it up on Google and show you it. And he said, alright, but only if you will have some alcohol.
Guarantee that your freedom of speech will be protected in law. Because it's like, yeah, you know, Google can veto, yeah, America can...
Because these people recommended it, and I needed to clear some of my tabs, because with Google Chrome, you like reach a whole interactivity. Because all that means is that when I go look at Google saying, is this working? Oh, this video's got lots of viewing.
Some time ago, saying, hey, you know, Google's a fucking megacorp. We need to watch out. They're taking over everything. This isn't good.
Really tired. And granted, it has been a hell of a week, but I Googled, and I'm fine. It's just rhinitis. It's, you know, yeah, you might have one guy who can still get a job at Google, right? But Google
infringed copyright, and aside from having a corner of Google all his own, he'd utterly failed to advertise the site. It was about this time
thingy app that someone made to make it work on the Windows Store. Okay, fine. And it's like, oh, Google Keep, yay! That only works with...
If the government had the capacity to kill Google in Britain at the push of a fucking button, there wouldn't be any websites. I wouldn't have Google Chrome synced across. It would be a different thing here. Just like, no, that's sick and disgusting. This is fucking Google, okay? When I search for fucking My Little Pony,
To pay the proper rate of tax. Because I'm Google and I'm big and I don't give a shit. Well, no, Google. If you are gonna be
I have found... Okay. I found out that essentially Google has its own.
Not the push of a button, but if they had the capacity to do that in a way that Google probably could not stop, you know, they like now actually, like, you know, so compete. Anytime Google is up against someone, go for the other. Needs to be stopped, and I say that as someone who uses Google, who is a YouTube video maker, who loves the fact, hey, what the fuck is he streaming about? I'm gonna give that a Google. When you scream about how Islam is destroying everything, people are gonna Google.
Well, I can just log in and just Google, boom, everything there, done, bosh. It's glorious. It really is. I mean, okay, you know,
Hit, because objectively, if Google self-driving cars are programmed to hit cars with the latest and greatest
happens to I don't like him, just delete his videos. But yeah, Google are terrifying, and Google are all about the optimization for revenue. JonTron pops up on all these fascists Google Now playlists, and they're like, oh, say, like, this guy's in the name of the economy, in the name of work, in the name of tax. And what do, Google? You say, ah, well, I don't need to pay the proper rate.
You know, I remember one time I just read Dave Foreman's Google Whack Adventure, and I
Keep, sort of Google Keep. I've got to say I like that. Right? Like it's you know, work and survival and color code.
fantastic. And welcome to the new Skyrim for Google Glasses. Just walking down the street, and a courier runs. Generally don't know about Google, support UKIP, and are quite pedantic. Google.
But because of these reasons, people do ask if I want to join Google Hangouts, or I want to go on Skype with them, or
For a long time, I could not do it. I didn't have a blinking clue. So I Googled it, and it turns out it was blindingly obvious. Want to go on Maps, they go on Google. If people want videos, they go on Google. If people want anything, like if they want
Could literally, you know, submit scripts through, you know, Google's, you know, political correctness checker, and it would check.
because if this rolls out, and it's Google, so it probably will, then there will be crashes.
Tell a sexist to go away and Google something, he's going to come back with sexist results. We train our media.
The comments exist. I know they exist because I see them in my Google Plus notifications. I have them emailed to me.
Part of how our Siris and Amazon Echoes and Google Nows weed through all the different, you know,
chance. It's going to be, you know, like a Googleplexian point, you know, a Googleplexian of zeros after the decimal point, at least.
Than the BBC, and YouTube is run by the megacorp that is Google. Let's take the issue of Google self-driving cars. Okay. So you do not ever want to search paedophilia on Google because that is that seems like such an obvious. You scream about how Islam is destroying everything. People are gonna Google it. They're gonna convert to Islam. They're gonna convert to you liked. Okay, just so long as you are putting it down into Google's YouTube analytics. Hey, this person has
Okay, but it's not good enough. I need to kind of improve that. Google Keep has got an interesting amount of
to being monetized by Google, but already I am getting the issues of trying to make a living off YouTube stuff. And I mean, okay, Blip's dead now because Blip was bought out by Disney. But you know, Google, I think, is a little more.
I've got no money. I've got no money because like Google. Okay, YouTube earnings come in at the end of the month, right?
These are the people that we write things on with Google Docs, that we do shared projects on, that we have, they
and food. Of course, the problem is that, like with the Google self-driving cars, the moment you pick.
Google are not nice. Google need to pay a heck of a lot more tax, and indeed, Google, yeah, Google.
Longer, more in-depth video later, but basically, I'm worried that Google's got too big. I'm worried.
Right. Although, granted, that said, you know, there are certain things I won't Google if I think they're probably something porn related. I'm thinking I might leave my MCN again so that I can have that money going into the Google so I can get paid. So because
I played Minecraft because my computer can't run Skyrim and Google Chrome at the same time because I have 50 tabs open and no, I'm not gonna, like, you know, maybe sort of like open, you know, Google online, you know, applications of Word and stuff, and this has got a QWERTY keyboard.
my blog is run by Google. And who happens to run YouTube? Why, Google. And who happens to
Of the ad revenue per video is gonna go to Google and to your MCN, but that way whatever you earn, even if it's $1, without worries or fears that, you know, Google's gonna take them down or somebody's gonna take their stuff down, or
Google, use it. Although don't Google fucking cats. Don't do that. I mean, I don't know what it'll.
I totally and utterly believe that Google has all right to say, you know what, we're gonna ban you for $1 no matter how much you pledge. For me, the reason I'm doing this is because Google just like
we have a problem with, so we're going to take this down because it's hate speech. Because Google now is siding with the far right. So yeah,
I think there is hope. Now, YouTube is vast and strange and complicated, and Google is massive, and I'm an idiot.
and Microsoft. We have 4 separate companies that compete, right? And Google is competing with all of them. Actually, even a 0.0 Googleplex unit zeros 0.1% chance of you killing yourself will become
cost money that I didn't actually get to see because Google has this, you know, £60 minimum payout threshold.
Automatic transcription software on YouTube should be possible. So get on it, Google. Thank you to... He did a Nostalgia Critic video pointing out this stuff. Pointing out how Google systems are so fucked up.
I'm worried that Google's got too big. I'm worried that if Google hasn't got too big, then it is rapidly heading there. It is rapidly heading beyond their control. Whereas Google self-driving cars can have what they do in the event of a crash or
More bullshit. Or they will try to hack in through fucking Google, you know. And ironically,
the authorities and blah blah blah. You know, I could do that very easily if I could just Google search authorities and then like go through Epic. And if you follow my Twitter or Facebook or MySpace or Google Buzz, then you will know that I spend a good deal.
We're bad. But now we've got Google. Now we've got Facebook. Now we can just have it shared to our feed the moment.
Generally know, and yeah, Facebook obviously, and just Google Fast Snoop, and I'm like on everything. But if you're on Facebook,
Google Calendar and Google Keep, right? Like the calendar's got issues. I mean, it's functioned onto your computer. Nowadays, essentially, there is no, hey, get this in Google Play, get this on the Google Play Store, and then I would rather go away and Google stuff and research stuff myself. But here's the thing, guys. Google is trained by your action.
see, it's never a problem so long as you have nothing to hide. Like Google, kind of creepy and kind of scary. So
You know, breached the point where Google has asked for details of how to pay me, right? I'm making like $5.
because what I will do with Google Chrome is I will for a couple of days I will, whenever I find a link that looks interesting, they get paid by advertisers on Google, so they get paid by mega corporations. You know, if you've been watching my videos, which
Like, Remember the Milk and Google Keep can do for free. Rip off. Fucking rip off. Oh, it's only $2 a day.
You just go on a Skype call or a Google Hangout together and you just talk together. This isn't good. Well, now we're starting to see it, aren't we, Google? Now we're starting to see it. First, it was guilty until proven innocent.
Feels good, like, if I'm going to get out into this, to start with Google, because I know Google. And then, Remember the Milk, obviously, I'm using that because
are looking at buying a car, and you know that Google cars will target cars with the latest and greatest technology features.
the first time I am actually getting paid by them, in the sense that Google is finally like, okay, tell us where to send the check, you know, sort of thing.
the ad revenue that is generated from Google is minuscule. There is a thing that I've been meaning to Google for a while, and I haven't.
The jokes about typing Google into Google, oh no, the great paradox, you know. But, you know, it's just how the fuck did it end up doing this? Google just, how fucking
To the internet in like public libraries or whatever, then sign up with a Google AdSense account, okay? Get a blogspot, start writing.
Just a text and graphics program that, like, I could easily just use, like, a Google Docs document. I could easily just
Take more and more money out of the pool, especially if they're, you know, companies like Amazon or Google, you know. It can actually sign up with Google AdSense, sign up with a blogspot, and just start writing every day, and you can.
I was pulled into a Google Hangouts where one of the first things that happened was I ended up in a
Gladly share every moment of my life because, hey, Google's awesome, but it's getting too much. It's getting too much. We need to stop it.
We've all got a Facebook or a Twitter or a Google Plus account or a YouTube. We've all got something, right?
Drive that's going to drive politicians to say, well, we need your Google account, we need your Facebook, we need this, we need...
Don't. There are a billion other wannabe Googles out there that are like, hey, you just want to find pirate stuff?
Of your film being found through search engine results. You want to be a name that people are going to Google, that is going to be linked to in Google.
That resource, but you know what? I don't fucking want to Google that shit. I don't want to Google that shit. And this is stuff that has...
Like, capitalism is dying. It ain't dead. So Google is gonna have incentive to make sure people don't alienate.
Google, yes, I appreciate Let's Playing is a thing that makes money for Google, right? But at least in principle, at least like
Understood or interpreted as bad, it might begin in that way, or just Google's auto editor and script and
learning aspect of the assignment would be easy because it's just Google search, basically. It's just search authority.
costs, right? Because in the case of Facebook and Google, right, they're selling you.
There are going to be some very thick trolls out there who don't know what adjectives or adverbs are. You've got Google, use it. Although, don't Google fucking cats.
Yeah, fuck you guys. Google, sort out your comment system.
Is Apple getting big, Google getting big, Amazon getting big, Microsoft getting big? What they don't see are... So, I mean, I've got Focuswriter installed, I've got iTunes, I've got Google Chrome with the...
Just... I mean, Google gives us this power, and it's just like, yes, I will piss off the guy who has total...
You don't have bosses. Okay, you have Google, who will, kind of take down your stuff randomly if you've got any... It's kind of being horrible. And here's what really fucking pisses me off about this. Okay? Google only paid 3% fucking tax. To say, oh, well, I know what I'll do is I'll just Google how to make a bomb. No, you don't do that, right? So I'm not knowing, I don't know.
You ain't gonna search that. You are not going to go onto Google and search.
I love Google Drive. I have obviously I have YouTube. I've got a blog. Everything
to get paid straight from Google. Okay. When I have £60 in my earnings, and when I get that on a regular basis,
automatic transcription software on YouTube should be possible. So get on it, Google. Thank you to
removing my ability to get back at the dickheads. And that, my dear Google, is the wrong way to do things. You have got a broken
stuff, right? Like, it's why we're okay with Google collecting our data, but the moment they do anything kind of...
if anything, I should be paying Google and saying, well, actually, I can afford to pay Google, but if anything, I should be like... So I read an interesting article in this case. So, for those of you who don't know, Google have tons of money, and cars, like Google self-driving cars, are robots. They are objective. Which will be difficult as my Google Chrome is pretty much stock-a-block with tabs.
we're getting things hooked up now, and I've got a calendar. I've got Google Calendar, and it's like, okay, so just Ghostbusters and not having some kind of appellation is absolutely a Google SEO. Ha 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 ha. You have typed in Ghostbusters.
Not at this stage, anyway. So I got paid by Google today. Right? There was this moment of like, oh, I'm going. Searching works, but it's like Google, you know. Yeah, if you know what you're looking for, you might be able to find it. And we were focusing on the fact of, hey, there's the internet and Facebook and Twitter and Google and iPhones. Look at the sexy iPhone.
Now we're being watched by Google. Being watched by Google. And to be honest, the whole song is like that. And noting in the script, you know, suggested graphics. I am going on to Google, searching for the graphics. I've got people on DeviantArt who
Down is that if you do a thumbs up, and if you looked at, then if you have your Google Plus or whatever connected to Twitter or whatever, then it's like, hey, you just
my blog that I run, that I do for fun, shows me that I have financial worth in that Google pays me money. You know, Google was the guy who you went to for search. It was okay when Google did translation. It was okay when Google did maps and Google Earth.
World War Z again, and I wanted some deconstruction of it, and so I googled World War Z podcasts, and I have to
Notice that I've now got a whole load of new linkies, like you can Google Plus me, you can like my Facebook fan page. In the meantime, while I'm sort of waiting for questions to come in on the Google Pluses and whatever, I am going to share with the biggest, gigantic Google Plexian size an if that would be larger than the freaking universe, okay? Pedophilia, London, or you know, you aren't going to search Google about pedophilia because there is just some kind of grown a bit. But anyway, Google, seriously, sort your flicking comments out because I want to reply to my comment. In the event of a car crash, that Google self-driving car is not going to be aiming to crash into you.
we are on the verge of getting Google cars, okay? And at the same time, there are public transport networks, and
To a certain extent, Siri and, you know, Alexa and, you know, all these other different things. Google now, they're all these sort of
A smart device, they go to Apple. If people want to buy, if people want to Google, if people want to search, don't need itchy vag cream Google. I don't need it. You know, and equally, like, I got ads for Johnson's baby oil and
to universal job match, and we're going to have it tied to our Google and our Facebook or whatever. It'll have access to all of the notes app that does reminders. It's called Google Keep, and you can essentially get it as a plugin for Opera and Chrome.
to the point where I am almost thinking that I might say fuck it and see if I can, like, arrange a Google Hangout or something for people to just talk world at some point. You know, like, I used to be scared of Google, and now they have become Alphabet, and now I'm 3% tax. Are you fucking kidding me? Google, the fucking Goliath. Now, yes, I understand. We're getting
Whilst you were logged in with your account that had access to your Google and your Facebook and what have you. And yeah,
you know, maybe they have to go down to the fucking 45th page of Google, but they will fucking find it. This is just a distraction against the real people in power, and those people are people like the founders of Google and Amazon and Tesla, some of whom, like Amazon, treat people really shittily. Some of whom, like Google, are really kind of creepy in how they are. in that definition, I agree with the Google self-driving cars, but the prospect
who loves long words and, will will Google to check that he's got the spelling right of words when. And yes, I know. YouTube comments that work through Google Plus, and I can't get them through my inbox. And yeah, once it's come in, right? Whereas the blogger, that's going straight into the Google thing, which is going to be like, hey, when you reach your...
It's got to do their fucking duty to get us out of it. Fuck the fucking Google search results. Fuck the fucking name of Jahans. Fuck every...
the opposite side of the fucking planet from where the capital is. Do they not have, like, Google Maps or something? Do they not have a map? Do they not...
And there are trillions upon trillions upon trillions upon Google Plexions of lights out there. Everyone you look at.
Even if, say, Google comes up with, Google Social Translate, the app for autistics, that's like, what is the interface that happens to run the comments on my blog and YouTube? Google Plus. So the upshot of that is, if
lay at Google's hands, so they are fucked whichever way they go for. Because if they go for the...
you're talking about, Google's whole business is algorithms and automated systems. Remember, Google self-driving cars are already on. Because you've got Google, you can do research, because yes, that is always...
there will be people who will be killed because Google self-driving cars decided on programming to...
the people's hatred for me is leveling up. It's leveling up my Google money and my YouTube money at the same time. Someone standing next to the new thing from Google or Facebook or Apple, I'm gonna think that that person is cooler, right? Through second by second to do the subtitles. Except this is Google we are talking about. Google's whole business is algorithms and automated. Like the thing with the calendar and the Google Keep, what I'm doing there is I'm trying to sort of, that will increase the likelihood of Google paying out and blah blah blah. And I might go for that. Ideology through interaction with people, telling them to go and Google it, to go and research it, is not
that bad viewer interaction. But you know what, guys? Google doesn't fucking care about the ratios of bad viewer interaction to good viewer.
It's in a pot somewhere, specifically with Google AdSense. The way it's calculated is complicated, but basically per advert watch / clicked on. Thing is, right, Steam is one of the big entities, They are like the Googles, the Apple, the Amazon, they are...
15 minutes, it would have to be 30. And so maybe I can do that later, when Google has kind of seen that, oh, people are watching my video. A teacher character takes a bit of work because of stuff that, well, if you Google me, you can probably find out in any word, any combination of letters or numbers. And Google will hold any comment that contains that word up.
Nastiness. This kind of great logical leap where the function basically says, yeah, I googled some stuff and I read a story. YouTube Analytics is going to remember this. Google is going to remember this. Google is going to remember.
Putting a palaver enough, just navigating between Chrome, between sort of Chrome and Google Google Play apps.
go through my DeviantArt, my search history. They're gonna Google everything about me to try and find.
Whereas the well, to be fair, like, it's not just Google; it's also Facebook and Twitter.
Thing they get up every day and they go to work at Google. They take the bike to Google and they work in their offices.
What the next move is now. The next move is that you try to hack into Google. So you try to hack into...
who have barely survived accidents, having to live with the fact that people at Google decided objectively
Well, no, this is specifically about what the fuck is up with Google's automated software. Now, I haven't been gotten done for...
the more likely someone on Google can find you, and so the more views you get. So if you do reviews, then you can do
£5 every month from YouTube. I mean, it's going into Google, so I'm not seeing it because it doesn't pay out until it reaches £60. But I'm scared of Alphabet, and I'm still scared of Google, but I am utterly that itch. Right? Like 4chan has no again, so that I can just say, fuck it, I'm having Google Calendar and the Gmail app. But they are under threat from YouTube, from Google. They are under threat from companies that are not being fair. Okay, I'm going to go and Google fucking characters from Guardians of the Galaxy. I am so for advertising. Although presumably Google is keeping going somehow through the fact that maybe they make it so that you, in order to unlock professional mode, you must Google something from the internet, right? They don't give you the keys. They don't give you
of any right-minded person that. Why would I want to search those terms into Google when I know the NSA is fucking what?
Yes, the Dragon Touch X10, and yeah, this has an octa-core Google Android 10.6-inch screen. Pathetically, some arseholes might not give me a job because they do a Google search and they go, "He looked his tit. Oh my god." You have Google. You have the internet. You want to know better people to watch fucking.
So that when Microsoft says, "Hey guys, this is the Google HoloLens edition," that we will listen. Shot of a comment I have in my email on my video. YouTube comments don't show up Google. Something like that. I'll link to it.
Quickly checks Google. Yeah. Sophie Hopkins as April McLean. She anymore. Right? At a certain point, everybody just uses Facebook. Everybody just uses Google. Everybody just use. You know, I mean, I did have this moment of like shit. When I started getting Google Plus comments, you know how I was saying
The complicated part, said the Farshnik, and he starts pacing around. So I googled myself and I found something really interesting. The key's still a decision. In that case, so long as the Google car is a thing that can pick to go
automated systems. Remember, Google self-driving cars are already on the roads. They are that good.
Voluntarily per the amount of views, because that's how YouTubers are paid. Yes, Google says, okay, we have this video here. Then you find instances of porn because it's Google, because Google shows, everything from
on that video, and thus YouTube can be the great cash cow that helps to fund Google as it tries to develop artificial intelligence.
Dickhead after dickhead after dickhead popping up onto Google Hangouts, which I never look at, by the way, and I've literally found a setting which means I can just
fucking hand cut. I am trying to focus on what I love. And the trouble is, Google, that you are what I love.
internet. You tell a racist to go away and Google something, he's gonna come up with racist results. You tell
if someone wants to get something that's digital, they just have to fucking Google it. You know, maybe they have to go down to the fucking.
They have like cloud storage. These are the people. Google. I've done videos before about how Google are
Can't be asked to load it up and go, where am I? Google search, walk through information, and then cross with.
4chan has no power over me. Google does, right? Like if Google just said, we've decided if you want to keep
Wannabe Googles out there that are like, hey, you just want to find pirate stuff? Welcome to Pirate Google Searcher.
This NCN will pay out the money as soon as it comes in. Because basically Google has a minimum £60 payout. Google, Google is definitely part of the political establishment now.
or creating apps in the Google App Store and with sort of general stuff. Okay. It's gonna be an inevitability. Even if it's, even if, say, Google comes up with,
What? You think that, Google's name being on everything means that that it's just some small locally owned organisation?
their eyes on the same adverts so that Google can keep making more money. But how much longer can all these disparate people keep using this?
Beyond maybe Google, Twitter, and Facebook, because those are like my homies. I do that. But we did good. It's just my little local Google. No, Google's a fucking empire. And I get paid by them. I get cocking paid by Google. On my videos, there's no point, Google says, because nobody's watching it. So I'm not going to make any money out of it. They're not going to make it.
Was the place where I ended up in a fucking Google Hangout with someone who called my attempts at suicide the dagger of self.
I know this because currently my Google Chrome is filled with unlooked at tabs to articles that
If we're gonna enter into a world where we've got something like the Google Glasses or whatever, then almost what we could have is live in a world where Vent's channel it basically means that my Google is sort of out of commission whilst videos are being uploaded and processed.
it's a thing that's happened, you know more, and you have access to Google and stuff, and you can look at things from a different perspective and present. Yes, it's been a hard day's work at Google, but we did good. It's just my little local Google. No, Google's a fucking
Here is where sort of Asperger's syndrome is a great help, because like the weak spot of kind of Google and Facebook and Twitter.
DeviantArt on Google, on Facebook, the Farschlink writing strange little stories about women who get so long as essentially the government has a stick with which to beat Google with, I'm fine with Google being there because I
Entirely different and unique and kind of, it's like Google is in a way the platform
until someone actually managed to crack into my Google account or whatever. If it had been
I'm tempted to Google it, but no, oh, come on! Brain, remember! Not the idiot's lantern, not...
because this is kind of me trying to be positive. But also, fuck Google! They need to fucking improve their shit and pay their time.
Post reviews people agree with. I am not allowed to make money off my videos because Google thinks my videos... Okay, this is not like the Oculus Rift or the Google Glass where it's like, yeah, it's really cool and awesome, but I mean, for God's sake, that's what the whole Google Dream thing has been. It has been watching face recognition software. No, the problem is with you, Google. Somehow, I don't know how, you have completely balked the system.
About how Google are dangerous because they're so powerful. Now I'm thinking that the opposite is true. Google are dangerous because they're just powerful.
It was okay when Google did translation. It was okay when Google did Maps and Google Earth and Gmail. But now they're making tablets. But I want to know that if Google goes bad, the government can do something about them. You know.
But as a result, when Google is looking for that profile pic, when it's looking for the name for Snook, that's
hey, get this in Google Play, get this on the Google Play Store, and then download it to your PC. Instead, and also at the same time, quickly Google. I did not need to Google. I remembered.
That video. You can be the one result that comes up on Google search that isn't created by the mod developer.
a true nerd doing let's plays and loads of awesome people and it's Google, we need to have words. Google, we really...
Oh, so Kasabian's, easy line of now we're being watched by Google.